All right. One of my hobbies in the past was like doing some air-powered Nerf stuff. So like, I was really into pneumatics, like air-powered stuff, because it was just cool, you know. It's a lot. I think it's a lot more intuitive than electrical engineering, so it's just a lot easier to grasp, and I think it's probably safer as long as you're under a certain pressure. I had this bottle. I've had this bottle for years, actually, because I usually don't drink, um, bottled or canned stuff. Um, but when I held this bottle, I remember it was like really, this bottle was, you know, full of pressure. And I was like, wow, that could be a really good air pressure vessel. And today, no, literally, I've had this bottle for 8 years, maybe. I haven't, yeah. I knew I'd put this bottle to use, and today is that day. So I got a bunch of stuff, just a bunch of parts laying around. So the goal, what I want to try here is I want to have this. Oh, so I also have these irrigation lines from like just gardening and trying to garden, anyways. Yeah, okay, okay, here's some other, this is some actual like 6mm pneumatic line. And I realized that, the irrigation line and the pneumatic line, they're pretty similar in terms of diameter. This is 6mm, so that just fits in there. And then this is a 1/4 inch, which is just slightly bigger than 6mm. So you kind of just have to, wait, that's the bigger side because something was in that end. You just have to like force things in a little bit more, but they connect. So yeah, just going through my irrigation gardening stuff, it just gave me that idea to like get back into pneumatics, because yeah, so now I'm just going to try and do a proof of concept where I have I connect this in here. I got to put a hole in here, and then I'm going to put I have these and these Schrader valves. Yeah, I want to connect that in here, and then have that other connector, wherever that was, I lost it. Here it is. Yeah, I want to have that here, and then I want to connect it to this, so I can have canned air that I can, basically refill on my own. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do all the easy stuff first, like just screwing everything in. And I'll probably cut stuff out unless I can like fill in the time with rambling. This is brand new, so I'm gonna look for one that's already been used. So all right, hold on. Nope, I think I know where the other roll is, but I think it's just better if I just use this, because yeah. Okay, so there's the plumber's tape. And then, let's see, yeah, I got these, I think this is 1/4 inch, or, yeah, I think this is a 1/4 inch sort of, oh wait, that's definitely not gonna, I bought these. This is 1/4 inch, NPT. Yeah, so there's NPT and there's PT. Those are like different thread standards, and yeah, they sound very similar, but they are ever so slightly different. And I had the misfortune of buying PT and NPT threaded stuff in the past. Like, this was years ago, And you know, it kind of worked, but it really, like, I didn't really know. There was no AI at that time, so, you know, I was just going off of whatever felt right, I guess. So yeah, it's all kind of coming back to me. You kind of have to fold the plumber's tape in half. Kind of get you that double layer. And then, yeah, you want to make sure you're wrapping it in this specific direction, because when you're tightening it into the thread, see, you want to wrap it around the thread so that when you tighten it, the thread or the tape doesn't unravel. So now I'm just gonna thread that in here, and I reviewed these, and they're all right. You kind of just saw that they're kind of finicky to open and close, but okay, so I overshot it. I under and overshot it, the gap, but it's no big deal. All right, so yeah, that's going in there pretty nicely. Okay, so now we have a closed end. So this is closed and that's open. So then probably looking at the parts I can use. No, that's kind of ridiculous. I think I'll just use this one. So yeah, let's just get out some more of this tape. This is, yeah, I should probably not have that in my hand. Yeah, it's definitely, you can't have stuff in your hands when you're cutting the tape. I'm using a Scotch titanium scissors. Probably got them from Amazon years ago. Still working great. They're very sharp. I don't really have a baseline to compare them to, but they're still pretty sharp. And yeah, I can't really complain. All right, see, let me show you the direction that the tape goes on. So I'm going to be screwing this in like that. So that means I want the tape to, I guess you could, see, if I put it on this way, then the folded end will be inside. It's probably better if the folded end is on the outside, just because, you know, it's less folds for stuff to get into, I guess. But, you know, so we're really nitpicking at this point. All right, so I'm going to be rolling it on like that. See, now when I turn it, the tape does not unravel. It actually gets tighter, like that. See? Now, you just screw it in. And let's see, what else can I say? Man, this is actually not going in that tight. So hopefully, I mean, I'm at the end, so maybe. Oh wait, I guess it doesn't really matter because the pressure is on this end. So there we go. All right, well, there's one easy part. Next thing, we could do some more easy stuff. So I can put that away and just get out the, these are made in China, 1/8 inch. Oh wait, so yeah, these are 1/8 inch NPT, and so so this is if I misspoke, I meant to say this is a 1/4 inch NPT. I think I said that, though, I don't All right, there's some tape here, so I'm gonna get the knife. You know, maybe I would have pulled the tape if I wasn't in a rush, because I really don't like cutting stuff, because once you cut it, like, that's it. For these hose clamps, I probably won't use them, because once something is, like, something barbed is in, you know, this irrigation line, then it's in there. And it's like, yeah, so this is going to be a super tight fit. You know, I was thinking maybe I should have gotten, yeah, because this is huge. This is huge. This, I canceled my order for, like, the smaller size, because the next size down, I measured, it would be basically the size of, what's in here? I mean, I don't want to wait any longer, so yeah. I'm just gonna have to, okay, so, yeah, I'm just gonna, hold on. Yeah, you have to grab onto the staples, open them like that, then you can pull them out. Hopefully no one steps on that. Yeah, this is the conundrum. I mean, so that goes in there. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's gonna be a tight fit. I think I just have to get 1 or 2 barbs in though. And for that, I think I could just, you know, just do something like this. Oh yeah, so this right here, this is irrigation line that, like, was on some barbed stuff, something barbed, and I tried pulling it off, and instead of coming off, it, like, just stretched, and I just cut it off. So yeah, once it's on something barbed, it just stays on there really good. Yeah, this is going to be a really tight fit. I do have a heat gun. All right, so this is also from Amazon. You know, probably, I tried looking on AliExpress, and I don't know, I was like, all right, the price difference isn't that big, so. Just heating up the tube so it's more malleable. I don't want to get it too hot, otherwise, you know, otherwise it's just gonna collapse. And yeah, let's see. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that was close. See, it's going in there now. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, so that's 1 barb on. You know, that might be enough. That might just be enough. If not, you know, I'll just use a heat gun. The heat gun again. All right, so let's. So maybe this was the right size, because you do want it to be airtight, and the next size down was literally the size. I mean, if I measured right, it's the size of, like, the inner diameter of this line. So the next size down, you know, I would have had to use a hose clamp. I'm all about using less parts, but also I like doing irreversible. I like doing reversible steps. And what I just did here, this is irreversible because you can't shrink the tube back down. Like now it's just going to be like this now. And now, yeah, it's in there. It's in there really tight. So, yeah, there's no going back now. I'm going to use some more tape. Plumber's tape. I'm not really sure if this is like better than most, but I was doing research years ago and they said that this was like one of the best. So I was like, all right, it's not that expensive, and you don't want to skimp out on the details, especially if it's, low effort. It's like only a couple dollars more, and I don't know. I like it. I don't really have complaints about this one. I guess the other Teflon tape, plumber tape stuff, they kind of like break down, maybe. Okay, so you just wrap that on there. Oh, and that was, okay, so that was the fold on the outside, but I'm just realizing, like, once you already screw it on, then it's fine. Okay. Yeah, you can't even tell which side the fold is on. Maybe I should have added more tape. No, that was a good amount. Okay, now I gotta get two of these plier wrenches. Oh! Okay, it's feeling tight. It's a good sign. I could probably turn it some more. All right, that's tight enough, I think. Let's see. No, I don't know which one. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so that's that. Now, I'm gonna put that on here. So we're gonna do another irreversible step. And measure twice, cut once. So, I think that's a good length. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to, I could just squeeze this thing on. I don't think I have to heat it up. Yep, I could just squeeze it on. Okay. And that means the other end is going to go, and I don't really have to cut this now. Yeah, so like I can just have this, I can plug this in, just, it's kind of too long right now, but I guess it's a fine distance or good length. All right, so there we go. There's that. And then now we're gonna, we don't really have to, cut this. So we could, but yeah, I guess, it's not necessary. So I'm just gonna, oh wait, I could use some of this actually. Yeah, I could use some of this down here. All right, so let me just screw, wait, I don't need that. Let me put this on. And, yeah, so I'm just, thinking. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna cut off like, I kind of have to show you with the bottle cap, so hold on. Oh, someone's getting blurped. Maybe that's an ambulance. I think that's an ambulance. Someone's getting blurped. Not in this, not. I don't think so. Not in this neighborhood. I don't know. Maybe that is a police officer. I don't really know. All right. So the idea is, this goes in here. I gotta put a hole in this with. That's what I use that to, protect the floor, I guess. These are some hole punches. I'm gonna put a hole in here. So. Wow, individually wrapped. It's nice. Okay, so we got that. Apparently these are self-healing. Not really sure how that works, but got these leather hole punches made in China. And let's see, I gotta pick a size now. How's that look? I don't know. I think that means I think this is too small, actually. You know what? I'm gonna get a scrap piece of paper and a mallet just to see how big the holes are. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Just gonna do that. Okay, that's cool. See what the damage is here. Ooh. Not as, that's pretty bad, actually. That is. All right, well, let's see how good it is at self-healing. So that's the hole. Would it fit? No, it would not. So, gonna have to go up to the next step. It's this one. Yeah, that'd be kind of sad if this was the only carrying case I have, but actually, I wouldn't really use these that often, so I guess it's not that bad. Okay, so sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's the next step up. Is this fit in here? I think that's a good size. I think we could make it fit. I think we could make it fit. We just gotta squeeze it in. Alright, so there we go. That is the right size. Now sorry about that. I forgot to put the mic back on, so it's probably better anyway, so so your ears weren't ringing or something. I don't know. All right, so this is just the right size, and now we are going to put a hole in this cap. It doesn't really have to be in the center, but It's probably good there. Okay, that definitely did some damage on this. Yeah. Huh. Self-healing, huh? We'll see about that. Yeah, so it wasn't that much in the center, but it's good enough. I think it's good enough. So there we go. There's the hole. I can take out that plastic circle later. Now I can squeeze this thing in here. See, told you. Definitely could have done it more in the center if I, you know, didn't have the camera between me and the bottle cap. But I'm gonna get a part. All right, so got something like that. This is just to, you know, act as a sort of a stopper for this. You know, when you're pumping up the bottle full of air, you know, something has to be in the way to, you know, prevent the line from popping out, and this is my idea. Yep. It's pretty tight. Oh man, that wasn't good. I kinked the line. All right, but yeah, that's roughly what I was going for. Yeah, bring up the brightness. There we go. Oh man, this iPhone's color grading is terrible. Ooh, so yeah, we're gonna see how airtight this actually is. Yeah, I don't know. Because maybe as the air pressure increases, it'll push this out and then make it more airtight, but we will see. We will see. And let's see, in terms of length for popping out, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure what the best length is, so I'm just gonna go right down the middle. Put this in here. Oh, you know what? I should have, the bottle cap is getting in the way of like me pushing this on right and tight. So I should have put on the stopper last. Yeah, this is gonna be awkward. And like the stopper, I really don't want to take the stopper off. That was really hard to put on. Ooh, man, I'm gonna do this off camera, 2 hands. All right, that's as good as I'm gonna get it. Hopefully, yeah, I think I have enough space on this phone so that I don't run out. So there we go. I gotta get a bike pump, but you know, let me just connect it all. All right, so there we go. This is basically what I had in mind. So now for the moment of truth, I gotta pump this up now. Okay, here we go. I have a feeling this isn't gonna work, but you know, we're already this far, might as well just give it a try. Okay, so let me just, all right, so that's not getting out. All right, so I'm just gonna pump this. Oh, yeah, I hear air leak. But let's just see how I mean, it's a slow leak, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have used a drill bit for the hole, because, yeah, the air is definitely coming out of this. So. Yeah. But, okay, so that kind of worked. Ooh, so that's gonna be tough. I mean, yeah, even if I use the drill bit here, you could, you know, squeeze it in like that. All right, let's use some tape. Yeah. Fill up the gaps maybe. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna use the junk tape, the tape that came with the part. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, yeah, this tape is a lot thinner. Maybe that will work in our favor. Oh man, that's probably too much. But okay, it worked. It worked a little bit, you know. Now we just gotta, you know, plug up the holes. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it didn't really cut. I was just talking about how the scissors are sharp, but I feel like maybe the tape is just kind of weird. So I'm going to, yeah, there's too much stuff here, so I'm just gonna have to do it like that. Ooh, this is, yeah, I don't like this tape. It's bunching. Oh no. Okay, now this tape is terrible. Okay, now I can see why people like the blue one, because the blue one never did this on me. Oh man, this is not good. But yeah, I don't like that. Okay, let me just get it out of the way. Huh. Yeah, it's not tight. I might have to just swap out the tape. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that the air pressure would push out, or like create a tighter seal where the cap is. Oh, wait. I'm not hearing any leaks. I'm not hearing any leaks. Ooh, that's cool. That's good. That's good. Okay. Oh yeah, pressure. Okay. Okay. Before this thing explodes, let me just. Okay, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely don't want to. It has to be on very straight. But let me bring that up to the mic. See, hold on. You can see there's no. Okay, there is some leakage, but only if it's not straight. Interesting. Well, we already know it's gonna work, right? So there's no leaks here. If there is a leak, it's very slow, and I can't hear it. So. All right, there we go. pretty happy with this. I mean, I really didn't have any expectations. I had an idea and I wanted to see if it would work. And yeah, I think there's potential here, because before I was really into 3D printing, so I spent so much time like designing these 3D printed caps. This is PLA, so it didn't really seal air at all. And there'd be slow leaks everywhere. Yeah, so this is something I did in the past. It's just a prototype. There'd be like a Schrader valve that fits in here, and then like a vinyl tubing that comes out of here, and it's shiny because this is ABS. And what I did was I dipped it in acetone and you know, just sealed up the edges, and that sort of worked. I think it worked well, but it's 3D printing, and 3D printing, that takes, it's cool, it was cool, but it just takes a lot of time, so I was like, it's honestly just, you know, it was cost and time prohibitive to do all the 3D printed caps and stuff, but, you know, over time, I just had this idea. I mean, I accumulated all these different ideas, and then they all sort of combined into what you see here. This is really cool. You know, I feel like I just like discovered something. Like this might start something. And yeah, I should really have a bike pump. These pressurized drink bottles, they burst at around 100. No, actually, I saw a video that a 2-liter bottle bursts at like 165, I think. Honestly, I wouldn't run these past 80. 80, I'd be kind of scared. But at the same time, 80 PSI, if it explodes at 80 PSI, then I think it's fine. Like your ears might ring. And I can't really tell what the PSI is with this pump, but I can, let's do a leak test. Let's do a leak test. Hold on. Okay, so I was thinking of like filling up a little tub of water, but I was like, that's kind of too much. So I'm just gonna use some soapy water. See if there's any bubbles. Oh, yeah, there is a tiny leak, but yeah, so there's a tiny leak there. I'm gonna assume that the leakage. Well, I mean, we just do. Is there any leaks here? Are there any leaks? All right, so the leak is just around here, and maybe that can be fixed with a better tape job. Yeah, I mean, look how slow the leak is though. Like this is maybe a pump, one pump's worth of air every, I don't know, 10 seconds. So, you know, I'm just gonna call this good enough. Yeah, I think with a better tape job, I can remove the this sort of leaking. I mean, we're already here, so like, I guess we could just do it. So let me just clean this up. And here, let me get rid of the bubbles. All right. All right, I'm gonna redo this tape with the blue tape. Oh, so there's the damage. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I think this tape it really is just junk. This tape might actually just be junk. Not really. This video wasn't meant to be an endorsement. I mean, all right, so if this tape works, if this tape seals the leak, then I hereby endorse this plumber's tape. You know, I think, you know, more the merrier, but I think this is probably enough. All right, and the direction doesn't matter because we're not really screwing anything in. Although, it would be easier if it's like that, so. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry for the blur. Yeah, I think I could just put it on like that. Ooh, yeah, this is tough. This is awkward. So, for the next bottle cap that I retrofit, I would probably put the tape on before the cap. Yeah, because the cap, I mean, or I could have just used a longer line for the irrigation line going into the bottle cap. But okay, look at that. That looks a lot better. That does look a lot better. It's not perfectly round because, you know, there is going to be a section here where there's an extra layer. That's just the nature of wrapping it around. But I'm trying to make it as smooth as humanly possible. So there we go. That looks good. Now I'm going to, uh-oh. Hopefully the tape doesn't, you know, come off. Ooh, I don't know. Hopefully that wasn't too much. Hopefully that was not too much tape, but, now to do another test. I don't know why iPhone's autofocus is so bad. Okay, so now sounds of, oh no, it's leaking, it's leaking. I don't know, man. I don't know if we can get this any better. Yeah. There is leakage still. Is it any better? Maybe. Might be worse. Alright, so if anyone has any idea on how to perfect the leak or seal the leak, then let me know. But, you know, for the time being, I'm just gonna have to leave with a tiny leak in here, but you know, on the whole, oh wait, I know, you could just use like some glue or epoxy here, like in this area, but I'm not gonna do that in this video. But I'm pretty sure that would create a perfect, like a leak-proof seal. And it would be a lot cheaper than having to, you know, 3D print and make these caps. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think it's, the leak isn't as bad as before, but I mean, yeah. All right, but yeah, I'd say this is a pretty cool project. Highly recommend, and yeah, have fun.